Perhaps you've noticed that your eyes do something strange when you're stuck in traffic or walking down the street. They follow numbers. Numbers on license plates, numbers on building facades, numbers on passing buses. And you didn't ask them to do this, but it happens automatically, as if your brain were playing a silent game whose rules only it knows. This behavior may seem like just a silly quirk, but in reality it reveals a very specific type of mental superpower. A superpower that transforms chaos into order, that finds patterns where others see only random information, that protects your mind from getting lost in heavy thoughts. And the most interesting thing, many people who have this characteristic never stop to realize how much it says about how they function internally. This video is not a diagnosis, nor a clinical analysis. It's simply an invitation for you to take a closer look at your own way of being, to understand that certain automatic habits of the body and mind may hide natural talents that you possess without even knowing it. That perhaps what you've always found strange about yourself is, in fact, one of your greatest invisible strengths. If any part of this behavior seems familiar to you, share it in the comments. This is a quiet space to recognize yourself and better understand your own superpowers. The way your eyes follow numbers on license plates without you asking. You're driving or sitting as a passenger or simply walking down the street, and suddenly your eyes are drawn to a license plate, not because you want to memorize the number, but because something about those digits caught your attention. It could be a sequence, it could be a repetition, it could just be the way the numbers are arranged. And you realize you do this all the time, effortlessly, without deciding. This automatic eye movement is not accidental. It reveals that your brain has a natural need to seek order, pattern, logic. While other people look at the street and see only movement, you see structure. You transform random information into something that makes sense, even if that sense is only for you. It's as if your mind is constantly organizing the world around you through small, invisible mathematical games. And this isn't a distraction. In fact, it's a silent way to maintain internal control. When you chase numbers, you're creating a mental rhythm that calms you, organizes you, and takes you away from thoughts that could be much heavier. It's a superpower of self-care that happens without you having to think about it. Your body has already learned to use numbers as an anchor. How your body transforms boredom into a silent competition with itself. You're in a waiting room or stopped at a long traffic light or waiting for someone who's late. And instead of simply waiting, something inside you starts creating challenges. How many red cars will pass before the light turns green? How many license plates with the number 7 can you find before you get home? How many even digits appear on the next 5 license plates? Nobody proposed this game. You invented it yourself without realizing it. This habit reveals something profound about how you deal with emptiness and waiting. While many people simply switch off or pick up their phones, you activate. Your brain doesn't tolerate total passivity well, so it creates internal movement. It transforms idle time into productive time, even if the production is just a private mental exercise. It's a way to keep your mind alive, engaged, in control, and that's a rare superpower. You're never completely bored, because there's always a game playing in your head. You transform monotonous environments into observation laboratories. This ability to generate self-interest, to create stimulation where there is none, is a natural protection against the anxiety of inactivity. Your body has learned to entertain itself, and that's a silent force that few recognize. The automatic way your mind creates patterns where others see chaos. You look at a line of parked cars and, unintentionally, You start noticing things. 3 white cars in a row, 2 black ones interspersed, a sequence of license plates that ends in increasing numbers. Other people look at the same scene and see absolutely nothing special, but you see structure, you see rhythm, you see a kind of visual music made of information that nobody else is paying attention to. This ability to find patterns in unlikely places is neither luck nor distraction. It's a characteristic of someone with a naturally analytical and organized mind. You don't need to make an effort to do this because your brain already works this way. It looks for connections, relationships, sequences. And when it finds them, it feels a small click of inner satisfaction. It's as if the world makes a little more sense to you than it does to most people. And that's a strategic superpower. People who see patterns where others see chaos are the same ones who solve complex problems more easily, who anticipate situations, who notice important details that go unnoticed. Your body has given you a silent tool for reading the world, and even if you only use it to count license plates, it exists, and it can be used for much more. If you've noticed this way of reacting in yourself or someone close to you, right, this sounds like me. This helps this video reach more people who think and feel similarly. The habit of counting things around you when no one is paying attention. You're at a party or a meeting or simply sitting in a public place, and while people talk, laugh, or use their cell phones, you're counting how many people are wearing blue clothes, how many windows the room has, how many steps you climbed to get there. And you do it so naturally that sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it. It's as if your mind needs to map the environment through numbers. This quiet behavior reveals that you have a very particular way of feeling safe in new or crowded spaces. Counting is a way of organizing social chaos. It's a way of transforming a strange environment into something familiar, controllable. While other people connect through conversation, you connect through systematic observation, and that doesn't mean you're disconnected. It means you're processing the space in a different way. And that's a superpower of adaptation. You're never completely lost because you're always mapping things out. You're always creating internal references that help you locate yourself physically and emotionally. This need to count and organize is, in fact, a highly developed spatial and logical intelligence. Your body has found a way to transform social anxiety into productive mental activity, and this protects you without anyone needing to know. How your brain finds hidden sequences in car license plates. You're stuck in traffic, and you look at the license plate of the car in front of you, and suddenly you realize the first 3 digits add up to 12, or they form an increasing sequence, or they're all even, and you didn't plan to do this calculation, but it just happened in your head. And when you find an interesting sequence, you feel a small inner pleasure as if you've discovered a secret that was hidden there all along. This automatic mental exercise reveals that your brain has a natural hunger for logic and predictability. It dislikes loose, random, meaningless information, so it takes numbers that seem unrelated and creates connections. It transforms chaos into order, and it does it so quickly that you don't even notice the effort. It's as if your mind is always searching for the hidden mathematics in ordinary things. And that's a superpower of fast processing. People who do automatic, mental calculations like that have an analytical capacity far above average. Your brain is constantly active, even when you think you're just waiting for the light to change. This ability to find sequences and patterns is the same ability that solves complex problems at work, anticipates results, and sees solutions where others only see isolated numbers. Your body has given you a silent talent that works all the time. The bodies need to organize the world through invisible numbers. You're walking down the sidewalk and counting the steps to the corner. You're climbing stairs and need to know how many steps there are. You're waiting for something and mentally counting the seconds. And it's not that you need this information for anything practical. It's that your body simply can't let things pass without some kind of numerical record, as if counting were a way of giving weight and reality to everything you experience. This need to quantify the world reveals a profound characteristic. You need internal structure to feel anchored. Numbers function as a private language that only you speak to yourself. They help you organize experiences that could be vague, confusing, or oppressive. When you transform the world into numbers, you are creating a system of personal control. You are taking something big and making it small, manageable, understandable. And that's a superpower of emotional self-management. You're never completely adrift because you always have a way to measure, organize, and structure things. This ability to create internal order through numbers is a sophisticated psychological defense. Your body has learned that when things get too intense, you can return to the concrete, the measurable, the logical. And that keeps you functioning even when other people feel lost. The superpower of predicting the next number before the license plate passes. You're stuck in traffic and you see a sign ending in 7. Without thinking, your mind is already trying to guess what the next number will be. 8, another 7, un événement. And when you guess correctly, you feel a small inner victory. When you guess wrong, your mind automatically adjusts its strategy and keeps playing. That's no one proposed hypnoprise when you play with silent seriousness. This habit of trying to predict sequences reveals something powerful about how your brain works. You don't just observe the world, you try to anticipate it. You are constantly testing your ability to read patterns and make predictions, and each attempt, right or wrong, is training your mind to be faster, more accurate, more attentive. It's as if you were doing mental gymnastics all the time without needing an app or formal method. And that's a superpower of anticipation. People who naturally try to predict the next step develop a very refined analytical intuition. At work, in life, in relationships, you can probably sense when something is going to happen before others realize it. This ability to read invisible signs and anticipate outcomes is a rare strategic intelligence. Your body has given you a predictive tool that works silently but is always at work. How this habit protects your mind from getting lost in heavy thoughts. Have you ever noticed that when something worries you, when a difficult thought starts to appear, your eyes automatically search for numbers around you? You start counting, adding, looking for patterns, and suddenly that heavy thought loses its power. It's still there, but now shared with something else. And you breathe easier. You feel lighter, as if the numbers had created a necessary pause between you and what was bothering you. This automatic mechanism reveals that your body has developed a clever emotional protection strategy. When your mind starts looping thoughts, when anxiety rises, when something pulls you down, you don't confront it head-on, you deflect. You create an alternative mental activity that occupies enough space to give you relief. And numbers work perfectly for this because they are neutral, logical, predictable. They don't carry emotion. And that's a superpower of emotional self-regulation. You have an internal tool that helps you avoid sinking into destructive thoughts. While many people need external distraction, you can create internal distraction. This ability To redirect mental focus to something safe and controllable is a valuable skill. Your body has taught you to protect yourself in a subtle, silent, and efficient way, and it works even when you don't realize you're doing it. If this explanation has made things clearer about your personality, comment, "Now I understand better." Your participation strengthens this self-awareness community. The way your body learned to switch off anxiety through math games. You're somewhere where you should be relaxed, but you can't. A waiting room, a social event. Allons trip, and instead of forcing relaxation, your body does something else. It creates a game. It adds up the numbers on the license plates. It multiplies digits. It looks for sequences. And little by little, without you consciously deciding, the tension decreases. Your breathing becomes calmer. Your chest loosens. As if mathematics had an almost magical power to calm what was agitated. This automatic process reveals that you have discovered, on your own, a sophisticated technique for nervous regulation. When you engage the logical part of the brain with simple numerical tasks, you are diverting energy from the overstimulated emotional part. You are creating an external focal point that prevents the mind from ruminating on internal worries. And this is not escapism. It is intelligent management of emotional states. It is knowing how to use your own mental architecture to your advantage. And that's a superpower of preventative self-care. You don't wait for anxiety to explode before trying to control it. You act early when there's still time to redirect. This ability to use numbers as a tool for emotional balance is something many people take years to learn in therapy. But you already do it naturally. Your body has created its own personalized protection system that works without an instruction manual, and it saves you every day in ways you can't even imagine. The silent superpower of transforming any scenario into a mental puzzle. You enter a new environment and, before you even think about it, your mind has already started working. How many people are there? How many tables? How many doors? What is the distance between things? And while other people are chatting or looking at their cell phones, you are putting together a complete mental map of the place. You are transforming a physical space into organized data. You are creating a puzzle that only you are solving, but that gives you a kind of silent control over the environment. This behavior reveals a highly refined spatial and analytical intelligence. You don't just see the world, you process it in layers. You break down complex scenarios into smaller, manageable, understandable pieces of information. And this gives you an invisible advantage. You're never completely uncomfortable because you're always busy organizing. You're always mentally active. You're always creating meaning where others only experience confusion or social discomfort. And that's a superpower of cognitive adaptability. You can adjust to any place because you transform strangeness into familiarity through numbers and patterns. This ability to create mental games in any situation is a sophisticated way to never feel lost. Your body has given you a tool that works in all contexts, transforming the world into solvable puzzles. And this keeps you grounded, present, and in control, even when from the outside it seems like you're just silently observing. If you've made it this far and recognized at least some of these behaviors in yourself, know that this isn't a sign that something is wrong. In fact, it's the opposite. It's a sign that you have a mind that doesn't accept passivity, that seeks order, that transforms chaos into structure, a mind that has found in numbers a safe language to deal with the world. And that's no small thing. Those little mental games you play alone, those habits of counting and adding and looking for patterns, are actually superpowers disguised as common habits. They are tools your body has developed to protect you, to calm you down, to keep you functional even when things get tough. And maybe you've never stopped to realize how much this says about your inner strength, about your ability to self-regulate, to create meaning, to never get completely lost. The world needs people who see patterns where others see only random information, who transform boredom into curiosity, who use logic as a bridge between external chaos and inner peace. And if you are one of those people, know that this way of being is not strange. It's rare, it's valuable, and it deserves to be recognized as the silent superpower it has always been. Have you ever noticed this type of behavior in yourself or someone you care about? Share your experience in the comments. Sometimes, just reading similar stories makes us feel much less alone. If you enjoy content that reveals the hidden superpowers in your personality, subscribe to the channel. Here, we look at common daily habits with a calmer, deeper, and more human perspective.